Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The days of Hour is coming closer and closer and closer. I mean, the days of hours are the high holidays, our holidays. So we are going next on Monday we are going to be having Yom Torah, and after that we are going to be having Yom Kippur, and after that we are going to be having a Sukkot, and after that we are going to be having the Simcha Torah. So all these are the high holidays, and we glorify the Lord our King for making it possible for us to see and to live and to behold this day in the land of the living. So the parasha of this morning is known as Parshas Nitzavim. The parasha of this morning is known as Parshas Nitzavim, and it means to stand. Standing. All of you are standing before the Lord thy God. All of us individually and collectively, we are going to stand before the Lord our God on that day. Here, I just want to give us a quickly summary. Here we can see what Moshe Rabbeinu that he was discussing with his children. I called the people of Israel his children because remember that the men of war, the men of strength, they all died out, and these are their descendants. These are their children. He practically raised them up. These are those young men and young women. So he's reciting again, summarizing everything that has happened to the people, telling them, listen, behold, this is what the Lord your God, the God of your forefather, this is what he did for you, he did for you, he did for you, he did for you. Do not forget. It is very sad, in the world that we live now, that in most schools, they did what? They remove history. They don't teach history in the school anymore. Why? Because they want to make you a zombie. When you don't know history, then you are not human, you are an animal. There's no difference between you and an animal. Because you don't know where you are coming from, and the man that does not know where he's coming from does not know where he's going. So they can manipulate you the way they want. The government or some hidden powers, some dark powers can manipulate the people the way they want. But once you know history, once you know where your forefathers were, once you know where they are coming from, you will stand upon that faith, upon that issue, and say, no, you cannot deceive me, because I know where I'm coming from, and I know where I am now, and I know where I'm going. So, and it makes it more difficult for people to be manipulated once you know your own history. But now it is sad that they remove history from colleges and from schools, from primary schools. It doesn't matter. They remove it. While in the new world, it's a trick of the enemy, and we have to understand that. For us, as the people of Israel, we will never forget our history. We will never forget where we are coming from. We will never forget what the Lord our God did for us in Israel. We will never forget that. I will continue to teach that to our children, for our children, and our children, forever and forever, until the Messiah returns. So it is very important for us to keep this in mind. So Moshe is telling them, giving them, saying, okay, my people, this is what the Lord has done for you. Do not forget that. And we are going to enter into a new covenant again. We are going to renew that covenant before I go. Remember, it's going to pass very soon. We were discussing yesterday in the Shabbat. The rabbi was saying, oh, you know what? It will be good that you know the time that you are going. I said, most men, I don't know here, but most men in the place I come from, most old men, most old men, they know when they're going to die. They can feel it. They can understand that, and they begin to prepare themselves. They call their children. They bless that. They feel it. Human is not animal. We have the soul. We have the spirit of the living God. You can feel it within yourself that the time is approaching. You put everything in order. You bless your children. You keep them. You give your property. You share them to your children so that there be no problem when you leave, so that all of them can live in harmony. So Moshe Rabbeinu is doing the same thing now, because he understands the time is approaching. He's going to do what? He's going to die. So he begins to tell them, please, the greatest thing I command you, the greatest thing I enjoy you, please do not forget the Torah. That is it. Torah is your life. The blood that flows in you is the Torah. Make Torah be that blood that if you forget if you forget the Torah, the consequence is bad. You have choice. I am going to present before you again today. Choice. Life or death, you choose. Blessing or curses, you choose. So, but God is saying that He advised us as His people to do what? To choose life. Parshas Nitzavim. And I subtitle it, the choice is yours. Blessing or curse. You choose. God is a democratic God. God is what? Is a God of democracy. It's a choice. That is why you can see me here. Many people say, Rabbi, why don't you beg people to come to do? I say no, because the way I was trained, what I was brought up is different, right? In Ethiopia, nobody. I will never force you to serve God. Why should I force you to serve God? No, serving God is a choice. You decide to say, I want to serve you. I want to serve God. Not say, oh, please, I beg you, serve God. No, God never begged no one to serve Him. Yeshua said, if you stop these people to praise God, God is able to raise stones, and stone will praise God. So, human, we are what? We are just like a grass that grow and perish, and that is it. That is it. So, it is a choice. It is an internal choice that you make, that you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself, I'm going to dedicate my life, I'm going to dedicate my being to the study of the Torah, and in doing what the Torah said. Because it's not enough for you to study it. You might know the Torah from in and out, and if you don't do it, what is the benefit? No benefit, my people. No benefit. So you have to do what the Torah said for you to benefit, then for you to be able to have the hope of the world to come. Because if you don't do it, my people, it's a waste of time. The Torah portion Nitzavim, which occurred towards the end of the book of Deuteronomy, is read before the days of the hour, but it was viewed as so important spiritually by the Reformed movement that it is also read in Reformed synagogues on Yom Kippur itself, rather than the traditional parasha. The Israelites stands at the threshold of the promised land. Their 40 years of wandering in the Sinai desert have finally come to an end, and their future is uncertain. Moses, Rabbeinu, soon will die, and the words of his parasha constitute part of the prophet farewell to his people. So here I'm saying that everything that is written here is a farewell message by Moshe to the people. I'm going to go. I'm not going. Yes, my desire is to come inside the land. My desire is to enter inside the land together with you to teach you more things. But the Lord said no. And the Lord said, I should not disturb him again about this matter. The matter is closed. So, as a father to the children, no matter how old that we are, even though if we are 2 million years old, we don't want to leave our children. We don't want to leave them. I mean, in the sense that the man or the woman is going to die. We want to stay with our children. The children want to stay with their parents, even though no matter how, if your mama or your father is as old as Adam, 1,900 years, for example, right? You still want your mama to be alive. It is nature. We want our parents to live forever. We want to live forever too. That is our instinct. That is the way we are built. So here, the same thing, Moshe. It's touching him in his heart because he knows the future of the people. He can see through the word of wisdom, through understanding, through vision, that these people, they are going to sin. And God is going to be very upset with them. And there will be no Moshe to stand before them and God and say, God, please forgive them. Remember, when they sinned, the sin of the golden calf, God was ready to remove them. to kill them all. Moshe stood before God and the people, asking God, please forgive them. Please have mercy upon them. If you are not going to forgive them, put all the sin upon me, but leave them alive. What is Moshe doing? Moshe was ready to self-sacrifice himself for the sake of the people. And what is that? That is the atonement of love. The highest level of love. That you are ready, you are not guilty, you are not sinful, you are nothing wrong, but you are ready to give yourself for your fellow. You are ready to do what? To sacrifice, to self-sacrifice yourself for the sake of your brothers, for the sake of your sister, for the sake of your people. That is the atonement of love. And God saw that and God said, no. Whoever sins is who I'm going to punish. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill them, but whoever sins, that is the person I'm going to punish. So this is what God is saying here, that we as an individual, we have to do what? To be ready, to choose. It is a choice. It is not with force. Nobody forces anybody to serve God, but it is a choice that we make individually or collectively. You stand this day, Moses said them, all of you before the Lord your God, your tribes, your tribal heads, your elders, and your officers, all the men of Israel, your children, your wives, and even the stranger within your camp, from woodchopper to water drawer, to enter into the covenant of the Lord your God. Deuteronomy 29, 9 to 11. You see? He did not say, you are standing, O Jacob, before God. Moses didn't say so. Moses said, you are standing before the Lord thy God, O Israel. Not Jacob, O Israel. From those of your tribal elders, to your officers, to your wives, to your children, to the great men, even the proselytes who are not the DNA or the descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Everybody. Even the slaves were included in that covenant. What is God saying? Most of us will say, I am not an Israelite. No. As far as you trust in the Torah, you are included. Me, I can say, why did I follow the Torah? I wasn't there. No, you were there. Because we can see in this message, Moses said, even those who are not yet born, those who are not here today, this covenant is for them. Can you imagine? So it might sound so stupid. You say, what type of covenant is this? So you are not telling me that I have no choice? That I cannot choose? You have a choice. You can choose. You can choose to follow the covenant, and you can choose to say, I don't care about the covenant, but understand the consequence will come. But if you choose to follow the covenant, the blessing, the prosperity, everything that included in following the covenant will follow you. But if you disagree and say you abandon the covenant, the opposite will happen. Remember, the Torah is balanced. The Torah is not black and white. Because many religions, they want to make, they make their own religion black and white. No, there are some gray areas. It's not black and white. We need to understand that. But God is telling us that it's a choice. Like we are going to have an election, right? In Canada very, very soon. We have the Conservative, the Liberal, Bloc Québécois, and we have the NDP, right? We have 4 of them. Why? The federal parties. You have a choice, right? You see, there's 4 choices. When you want to choose any of them, you choose and you vote. The one that you think that you like most, or the one that you think that their idea or their what do you call it? Their party manifesto is more closer to your own understanding. Oh, okay, I like this manifesto. Okay, I'm going to vote for this and that, or their campaign. Okay, I'm going to vote for this or that. It's a choice, right? And you can decide that I don't want to vote. It's a choice, But remember, the Canadian Constitution makes it compulsory that every citizen has to have a choice, have a say. You have to vote. The same thing here. The Torah is the constitution of Israel. I'm talking about the spiritual Israelite. The Torah is your constitution. And you have a choice to say, I don't want it, and you say, I'm going to follow it. You choose the one that you want. Okay. The bond between the Israelites and God is a democratic one. egalitarian in nature, and all-encompassing in scope, irrespective of gender, age, or station in life. The moral and the spiritual obligation of the Torah are applicable to everybody. It doesn't matter, you are a slave, you are a master, you can see it right there what is written. All of them are they gather before God. It is egalitarian, means believing in the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal right and opportunity and justice. That is the meaning of egalitarian. Torah is saying all of you are equal. You see? That the king is not like this and the people are like this. No. Before the Torah, no. In the laws of the other land, it's like that. The king is like this and the people are like this. There is a law for the king. The king is a god. You know, in most African countries, you can see on in most part of the world, king is like a god to some tribe or to some people. But in the Torah, no. The king is equal with the people. You are all human beings. The blood, you have a blood that flows in your vein. You have flesh. You have bones. All of you are equal before God, before the judgment throne of God, before the Torah. We are equal. So the Torah made the king to understand. Listen, you are not kind of a superhero. No, you are a human being. You can fall and you can rise. You have a choice, and you have to follow the Torah. Everybody is equal before God, and God gives everybody the equal opportunity to choose. I'm not forcing you to choose, neither do you force me to choose. Everybody has the equal right to choose what he wants to do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your gender, a male or a female. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about your age. I'm 200 years old. I'm 500 years old. I'm 2 years old. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your position in life. I am Bill Gates or I am that man that sweep the floor. It doesn't matter. We are all equal before God. But they are not only democratic, they are also timeless. Moshe Rabbeinu continues speaking for God. I make the covenant with I make this covenant with its sanctions, not with you alone, but with all those who are standing here with us this day before the Lord our God, and with those who are not with us here today before the Lord our God. Deuteronomy 29:13-14. The law of God and the relationship between God and his people are eternal. They transcend time and place. They are binding on us, on all of us, both present and the future generations. The Torah is binding upon us. It is. If people might say, "Oh, the Torah is heavy, it's a yoke." I get it. Yes, the Torah is a yoke. The Torah is a big burden, but it's a burden with blessing. Because there's a lot of things that the Torah, as a child of God, as a student of the Torah, that you do what you keep yourself from doing. Because you know that if I do this, it is not good. The Torah is against it. There's a lot of things that as a child of God or as a Torah student, you reserve yourself from doing. And so, therefore, it's like a yoke. Many people of the world, I say, no, I don't care. I do whatever I want to do. You know, it is written here. I can go and worship any other God. I don't care. But God said, remember, such a man, such a person who is an Israelite. Remember, he is not talking about Jacob here. I want us to understand this. When he talks about Jacob, he's talking about the blood descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But when he talks about Israel, it is everybody who is a member of the commonwealth of Israel. Every human being that left Mizraim, and we see all of us who believe in the Torah. It doesn't matter you are a Jew or a non-Jew, you are an Israelite or non-Israelite. It doesn't matter. As long as you believe in the Torah, you are part of this covenant. You are what? Part of this covenant, Moshe said. And so therefore, we have to follow this covenant to the end. We have to keep this covenant because it's our lifeline. It's our lifeline. Without that, we are nobody. The fact that Torah applies to everyone, even those not yet born, might seem a little bit confusing and doubting. But Moshe Rabbeinu tried to reassure his people. Surely the instruction which I enjoin upon you this day is not too baffling for you, nor it is beyond your reach. He tells them that the teaching of their faith are not in the heavens, nor beyond the sea. Metaphor for a spiritual way of life, so remote and inaccessible as to seem almost impossible to observe. Rather, Moshe Rabbeinu said, no, the thing is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart, to observe it. What is Moshe Rabbeinu telling us here? He's telling us that he's reassuring us. Even though we might think that this body is too heavy, this thing is too hard, oh, I cannot fulfill it. Say, who tell you so? Because that is what the devil is telling other people. He said, hey, you know what? The Torah is Old Testament. You see, the people cannot do it. That's why God gave them a new book they call a New Testament. That what they tell them, right? The Torah is old. The Torah is Old Testament. Because God is a wicked God. You know, He gave the people what they cannot do. That is stupidity. That is the lie of the enemy. Because the Lord that we serve, our God, cannot give us what we cannot do. That's what I'm trying to let us know. God gave us the Torah because God knows that we can do it. We can fulfill it. Don't allow the enemy, don't allow some fake religion to come and tell you that the Torah is hard. No, the Torah is not hard. Man make it hard. With all the kind of traditions and all the kind of idolism that they put inside the Torah. Don't allow people to deceive you. The Torah is not hard and the Torah is not old. That is something like New Testament. That is a fake. That is absolute fake. The Torah is eternal. Yeshua himself said, I have come to fulfill the Torah, to let you understand that the Torah is eternal. That no word in the Torah will pass away without being fulfilled. So where did you get your so-called New Testament from? When you have to follow the Torah. The Torah has to be followed to the least because it is eternal. Moshe is telling us even in this message in Parshas Nitzavim that the covenant that the Lord our God sealed with us as an Israelite is an eternal covenant. Nothing can remove it. Nothing can break it. It is eternal. Because remember that covenant was sealed with blood. So it's sealed with anything to seal with blood. So therefore it is an eternal one. No matter what, we have to follow it unto the end if we don't want to face the consequence. So God is telling us, it is not, the Torah is not too far away that you say, oh, you know what, it's far, it's in the end of the world, I cannot go there, or oh, it's in the heaven, I need to become an astronaut or a cosmonaut to go to heaven and bring the Torah down. You don't need that. The Torah is in your mouth. The power of speech, the power of thought, the power of understanding. The Torah is in your mouth. Just speak, and that is it. Understand it, do it, walk by it, and you will see the difference. So the Torah is not far away. Don't allow people to tell us all kinds of stories. Oh, the Torah is hard, you cannot fulfill it. That is why God give you this and that. It's a lie. The Torah can be done if we just follow what Moshe Rabbeinu gave to us. That is it. This is a poetic and poignant image. The word of Torah, teaching of the Hebrew faith, are within all of us. God has implanted them inside our soul, and it is our mission and our lifelong challenge to tap into them, to nurture them, and to actualize them through our deeds. The Nitzavim make it clear that it is up to us as to whether or not we follow the spiritual path. We are free to accept or reject the demand of the covenant, but there will be a consequence, or there will be consequences. As I keep on saying, it is a lie that somebody with will tell us, oh no, the teaching of the Hebrew faith. Because we as Hebrew, we don't have a religion. I keep on saying, it is not a Hebrew faith is not a religion. A religion is the ability of man to want to attain to reach God. That is a religion. The formulate is a formula. You step one here, you put a one here, they think by their own understanding they can reach God. No! From the book of Bereshit, we see that man is unable to reach God. It is always God that comes down to reach us. It is God that always stretches his hand of salvation, its hands of glory, his hand of assistance to us to save us. So it is a faith. It is not a religion. We have a faith. The faith of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham has no religion. It's a faith that we believe that there is a supreme God. There is a higher, advanced understanding, wisdom that creates all things. Everything that is seen and everything that is unseen. He created it by himself. So we have faith in that. And we believe that this God is the God of the ends of the multiverse. So that is what I am saying. So and that is what the Torah is telling us. He's saying, do not be afraid. You are this Torah is being planted in our hearts, in our soul. We have to do what? To act upon it. You know, we have to act. It is natural that you know that to kill is not good. You know that. Then why do you kill? It is natural that to steal is not good. So why do you steal? It is natural that you know that to take another person's land, it's not your land. You know it's not your land, right? To take it by force, you know it is not good. It is natural. You know that the Torah is planted in our soul, in our blood. It is written in our DNA. So why do we go against it? So this is what our God is telling us this morning, my people. He's saying that we just have to act according to the Torah. Because if we don't act according to the Torah, we will face the consequences of our actions. And don't come and say that God cursed me. God does not have your time to curse you. You are just facing the consequence of your actions. See, the address continue. Moshe continue. I set before you this day life and prosperity, death and evil. Deuteronomy 30:15. And to reinforce the message, I call heavens and earth to witness against you this day. I have put before you life and death, blessing and curse. So Moshe is calling the planet, the earth, and the heavens as a witness. I have told them, I have done everything I can. My hands are clean. I have not hidden anything from them. I have not wickedly departed from my God. I have stand before God. I have walked his way. I have shown these people what the Lord has shown me. I have delivered the message to them 100%. It is not 99.9999999. No, I have delivered it as whole. I have delivered it holistically, 100% unto them. So the heavens and the earth are witness. So don't come and tell me when the time comes that, oh, he didn't tell me this or he didn't tell me that. No, everything has been delivered. So you have a choice. I have placed before you the blessing and the curses, the prosperity, the peace or evil. You choose. It is your choice, not mine. Our portion appear to be binary. If we embrace and observe the rules of the covenant, we will be rewarded. If we disregard or reject them, we will face the consequence of our actions. For many of us, the theology or the understanding is too black and white. When compared with our life experiences, the teaching of the Torah do at times seems remote and obscure. Bad things do sometimes happen to good people. What today is marked by nuance and ambiguity, not certainty and automatic outcomes. I understand that, most of us, you can see that, oh, this thing of the Torah is black and white, it's too black and white. As I said, So we know that in the world that we live, I mean, this world that we live, there are a lot of things, bad things that happen to good people. Why? Why do bad things happen to good people? Or why is it that the wicked, they prosper? Why not the righteous? People might be having such an understanding. Say, hey, you know what? It's better for me to do bad, because if I do bad, I get money, I can cheat, I become rich, I become, I can manipulate people, and I have everything. So instead of me following the Torah, I'm poor, I can't eat, I can't do. Come on, I'm done with that. I'll go to the other side and do those evil and be prosper. But remember, the Torah said that those things that you gather will be given to another. You will not live long to enjoy them, because you gather them in an evil way. It is not yours. Everybody comes here empty-handed, and everybody goes back empty-handed. Have you ever seen somebody that pack everything and say, "Oh, my gold is with me, I take them to the world to come"? No. Naked you were born, naked you return. What is the meaning of that? The way you come, the way you return. That is why God is wonderful. The poor man died, a rich man died. But the point I want us to understand is not that a poor man died and a rich man died, but God is saying, "Look, I want you to enjoy this planet. When you follow the Torah, if you do what is right and just, if there is justice, you will enjoy this planet, and that will help you to transcend you to the world to come." You see, that is what the Torah is saying. Do justice. Do what is right, pursue righteousness, pursue justice, and that will transcend you to the world to come. You will enjoy, you have peace, you have all the things that God has promised. Your land will prosper, you yourself will prosper, your soul will prosper, your body, there will be no sickness upon you. He said all the sickness of Mizraim will not come upon you, because you kept the Torah, the way of your God. You walk in His way. So please, my people, it is a blessing that we have the Torah. It's a blessing that we are the student of the Torah. It's a blessing that we walk the path of the Torah. To the modern Hebrews, the covenant, irrespective of how our relationship with God actually play out in the real world, can feel like a burden, but it is also a blessing. The rites, rituals, and ceremonies of the Hebrew tradition can give our life meaning and purpose. They can inspire us to be better people and to build stronger community. They can comfort and elevate our soul. It is very, very important. All the things that we learn, our traditions. I tell people, any of my tradition that praise God, I follow. But any of my tradition that does not praise God, I don't follow, I don't care about it. Like what we are saying now, our rabbis, in their wisdom, they turn Yom Kippur into Rosh Hashanah, and they say it's a new year. New year for what? Where did you see that in the Torah that Yom Kippur is a new year? No, they are wise, they are rabbis, so therefore let us follow what they are saying. No, don't be blind. Don't follow men just like that. Go and study the Torah. See what the Torah said. Pesach is the new year. Don't allow people to put idolism, the Babylonian idolism, into the Torah, and you are following it blindly. Rosh Hashanah in the Torah is called Yom Kippur, the festival of the trumpet, blowing of the trumpet. You shall blow the trumpet, and you shall be remembered before the Lord thy God. So why people turn it into New Year and they dance, hey, Shana Tova, Happy New Year. Happy New Year for what? Which New Year are you celebrating? You should say that on Pesach, because that is when he said, this month shall be unto you the first month, the first of the month. I'm not against our rabbi. I love our rabbis, I love our sages, but I said, anything that it is not in the Torah and they bring, I will not do. I don't follow that. But I follow the one that God himself, that Moshe Rabbeinu speaks. The one that is written, I follow. Because that is clear. It is not hard. You can go and read it and you see it. Right? So please, it is what I'm trying to let us to understand, that We shouldn't be like zombies. You know, with the Israelites, God calls us what? Stiff-necked people, right? Why? Because we argue with our God. With our God, no, tell me now, tell me now. How could we argue? It is normal. Children argue with their parents. It's normal because they want to understand. But when people follow like zombie and do not question, then you are in trouble. You have to question. Why did someone turn Yom Kippur into Rosh Hashanah? Is telling you it's a new year, and you follow it like zombie, and you do not answer, and you do not question. Then that's a problem. You have some. They should check your brain. Yeah. So this is what God is saying. Please let us be careful. Because many people always say, okay, you know, I'm not an Israelite by birth, so they do it. Me, I follow them too. No, go back, read. The Torah is there. It is not hidden. Go understand it. Ask question. Ask question. The more you ask question, the more you know. Tell me, why do you turn your Torah into this? Then let them explain. If the explanation makes sense and it makes sense with the one in the Torah, then good. If it doesn't, then you tell them bye bye. That is it, please. Torah is literally a lifeline. That's an appropriate message for Yom Kippur and the days of Aweh. And it is God's desire for us, as Moshe exhorts his people to follow God's wish and choose life. As Moshe exhorts us, and we and what not only us, Moshe exhorts every one of us, even though our descendant that is to come. Those Jews and those non-Jews, those Israelites and those non-Israelites, everybody is what is included in this message. Everybody. We are all equal before God. God is not a discriminatory God. He didn't say, okay, you know what? You the Hebrew, or you the Israelite, or sorry, you the Yaakov, the descendant of Yaakov. You have one Torah. I give you this Torah. And the other people, the Eras, I give you this Torah. No. Moshe said the Torah shall be one for everybody. For the Israelites and for the non-Israelites. For the Hebrew and the non-Hebrew. For everybody, one Torah. Not two, not three, not 10. Because I do hear that some rabbi will tell you, okay, go follow the Noahic law. You are not an Israelite. The Torah is not for you. Sometimes I wonder where those rabbis, where they study their own study. Maybe they don't. I think maybe they don't read the Torah, or they have their own rabbi Moshe, not Moshe Rabbeinu, not the main Moshe that led us out of Israel. Maybe they have their own. You know, I don't know where they are reading, but the Torah said the Torah shall be one for indigene and non-indigene. As far as you come into the commonwealth of Israel and you decide to follow the God of Israel with all your heart, with all your soul, the Torah shall be one for each and everybody. No two Torah, no 10 Torah, but one. So all of us are bound to follow what is written there. So this is what I'm saying. Please, may God bless us. May God keep us as we see that at this holy time of the year and every day, the choice is ours to make. You see, God has presented before us this choice. Life, death, prosperity, and evil. Choose. The choice is yours. God is a democratic God. Whenever possible to serve Him, it's a desire. It's a choice. You decide and you stand firm to serve Him unto the end. May God bless you. May God keep you. May you continue to find favor in the sight of God. Parshas Nitzavim. The choice is yours. Shabbat Shalom.